Hello and welcome to Learning at Home. I hope you're doing well. Today we're looking at factors. What on earth is a factor? One explanation is that factors are numbers that you multiply together to get another number.
When you times 3 and 5, you get 15, which we call the product. 3 and 5 are the factors.
If you're thinking that just confused me even more, don't worry, let's see what that looks like. Here I've laid out the number 8 4 different times so that we can look at it in 4 different ways. First of all, I can have one group of 8 dots, 1 times 8. Another way I can make 8 is by having 8 little groups of just 1 dot each, so 8 times 1. A different way I could do this is by having 2 groups of 4 dots each, so 2 times 4. Or I could flip that on its head and I could have 4 groups with just 2 in each, so 4 times 2. The coloured loops are kind of like building blocks that I use to build the number 8, or in other words, they are factors of 8.
To find all the different factors that a number has, you're going to have to use your knowledge of your times tables. Let's have a look at what we need to do to find out the factors of 8.
First of all, I know that 1 times 8 is 8, so 1's a factor of 8. Flipping it around, I know that 8 times 1 is 8, so 8's also a factor of 8. Then I need to think about my other times tables. I know that 2 times 4 is 8, so 2's a factor, and then that means that 4 times 2 is going to be 8, so 4's also a factor of 8. What I know of my tables makes me pretty confident that these are the only ways I can make 8. So 1, 2, 4, and 8 are the factors of 8.
Let's learn a really easy way to work this out yourself using the number 12. We'll work up from the number 1. 1 times 12 is 12, so that's a factor. Next we have 2. 2 times 6, yep, that's 12, that works. 3 times 4, well that's 12 as well, so that works. After 3 we have 4, but we've already got a 4, so that means we're done. Notice how the numbers on the left are getting bigger and the numbers on the right are going the other way. Once we get to the point where those two sides meet, there's no point going any further because we'd just be going over the same factors. Once you've done that, then you can draw a big box around it and start listing off your factors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. Let's have another look with a slightly different number. This time let's go for 36. Right, so it's the same again. First we have 1. 1 times 36 is 36. 1's our first factor. Next up is 2. If you're not quite sure how to figure that out, you could use the bus stop method to see how many times 2 goes into 36, which is 18. Next we have 3. 3 times 12. 4 would be 4 times 9. 5. No, we can't do 5 because 36 isn't a multiple of 5. So let's skip down to 6. 6 times 6 is 36, and there we've met our middle point, so we can stop. We draw our box around it, and here are our factors of 36. Starting with the lowest, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, 12, 18, and 36.
Next up, we have something that sounds kind of scary, but I promise it isn't. Those are common factors. In this case, common is just another way of saying shared. So really, they're just factors that are shared by 2 different numbers. Let's have a look at some examples. Let's figure out the common factors between 8 and 12. Let's go back to the factors of 8 that we found earlier. We found that 1, 2, 4, and 8 are all factors of 8, so we can add them into our diagram. I'm going to put 1, 2, and 4 in the middle, and you'll see why in just a second. Next, I'm going to have to look for all the different factors of 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. Let's add those into the diagram. Now you can see that I've got 8 on the one side, 3, 6, and 12 on the other side, but the 3 numbers that are shared between 8 and 12 are 1, 2, and 4. These are common factors. I promised you it would be easy, right? Now, sometimes people ask you to look for the least common factor, or the lowest common factor. Which one do you think it's going to be? Other times people ask you to look for the greatest common factor or the highest common factor. Which one do you think that's going to be? Well, if you chose 1 for the lowest common factor and 4 for the greatest common factor, you'd be correct. That's because 1 is the smallest out of the ones that they share and 4 is the biggest out of the ones that they share. Sometimes the greatest common factor is also called the highest common factor. Or sometimes people are just really lazy and call it the LCF, and the GCF or HCF. And that's it for factors. Now that you know what factors are, it would be a great idea to go and practice. So go choose a number, see if you can find out what factors it has, list them all out, then choose another number and see if you can find any common factors between them. Then you could go around boasting that you know what the LCF and GCF are. Or on second thoughts, just keep it to yourself. Either way, I hope this video helped, and I'll catch you next time.